Hello, and welcome back to RivetingTV's Showtime 3. Wow, I don't think I've done the intro correct at all. I'm Dorjan.
I'm Half-Life 15.
And today we're looking at the KVs series, the first tank you meet when you hit tier 5 and are scared of. The KV1, the KV2 and the KV1S. In part 1 we covered the KV1 and in part 2 we covered the KV1S, which leaves the KV2. Probably the most infamous tank out of the lot of them because back in the early days it was tier 5. Seriously, almost untouched to what it is right now. And we're going to go have a look at it very, very shortly. I'm just going to ready up my T-34 and start the battle, and here we go. Okay, Behemoth has has been nice enough to arm the long cannon, and well, actually, I'll let you go through the guns, Highflyer.
Dirty. Oh, I don't like to see that long stick. But yeah, we have two different guns on the KV2. Each of them are actually pretty good, but overall, if you want to stay consistent, then you go with the SIS, just because it has high penetration and a set average damage, whereas the derp gun, the 152 millimeter, is one of those derp guns where you fire HE shells, and even though it's high penetration, it still manages to only do well, Georgian has a streak of, what was it, 8 and 30 and something low like that.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe it because I've only had 200 and up to 400 per shot, and it's on any tank in the entire game. So that's why there's such a huge gap between the players who play with the SIS and the one that plays with the 152, because in the with the 152 you can damage any tank in the game. So when you get put into a tier 10 game, which does happen, you wouldn't be able to do very much with the SIS cannon compared to
anymore.
No, but yeah, it did. But yeah, even against the tier 8, sometimes you do have a little bit of trouble, and I just love being able to do damage no matter what.
Yeah, so the one you're looking at right now, guys, is the Ziz. It looks really good, doesn't it? And it is. To be honest, when I first went through, I played with this cannon because I thought the higher DPS and the higher penetration was better. And I never really cared for the low accuracy, high derp cannon because I never rolled anything higher than a 10 on anything. But this thing is able, as Highflyer just said, to hurt anything, even a mouse. So that thing is incredible. It would kill me in one shot. Seriously, guys, one shot. It would kill me right now. Anyway, let's have a look at the armor, and it's about the same. The hull is the same as the KV1, still no upgrades. It's the same weaknesses, the same places and everything. The only difference is this massive turret. Now, this turret looks like it's heavily armored. It looks like a battleship turret, right? And it kind of is. If you shoot the sides, it should, and I'm at close range, it might not. Bounce, there you go. Bounce. Bounce. And this is the shape that it is. It's convex shape. So it is designed that if you shoot just off to the side, it's just going to bounce away. Doesn't matter how thick the armor is, it's just going to bounce. So if you're the KV2 and you're shaking your turret and you're trying to aim for weak spots, you're just going to be bouncing all over the place, shooting the top of the gun. What? This is meant to be really low armored. Why can't I get through? Why can't I get through the low armor? I'll shoot down here. Right? Easy to get through if you actually land it on the flats. But it's incredibly hard. If you look, it's only this area here that is the bit where you can shoot through, where the rest of it is actually going to ricochet or just not go through.
Nope.
So when you're meeting them at long range, yeah, you're not going to do it.
Nope.
Even against big guns.
Yeah, aim for the lower hull. Just like with KV1 and the KV1S.
See, at the lower bit, easy. Right, Highflyer, show that derp cannon off, good friend.
Yes.
That thing is insane. One shot, guys, boom, gone. That's the power of the KV2. The power of one shot, one kill, no matter what you are. At tier 5, you are going down to that shell. If you're a M4 and a not M4, M6, or, no, sorry, it's not M6, T1 heavy, or the KV1, you might survive. Might. Apart from that,
well, if I load AT, then even the M6 is dead in one shot.
There you go.
Because
yeah.
it's just so poorly armored. So.
Yeah. So that's the big scary thing about that. Again, similar to the KV1S. If it's hiding in cover and comes out and takes a shot at you, or if it's waiting behind a corner, don't go out. You're going to take so much damage. Even as a tier 7 or maybe even a tier 8, you should be really wary about attacking a KV2 with the derp cannon. The Ziz, not so much. Even though it's got high DPS and high penetration, it takes 1 or 2 shots at you, but you've killed it in that time. Because it's not actually that tough. Although, as I said, the turret's really hard to penetrate if it's in a good position. However, we're going to show you that it has a bigger weakness. It can't do the peekaboo as well as the KV1S. The aiming time is ridiculous, isn't it?
Yep, it's
like
very, 4 or 5,
yeah.
I think.
So I'm going to do the same sort of thing. And I would have to duck behind cover. Whoa! You know, he deliberately missed there, guys. But the Ziz, however, look at that. Could easily sit there and take the shot, but I didn't die. I can now back off and go, oh, I'm not going to face two KV2s. But their peekaboo style just doesn't work as well, because when that KV2 comes out, and I'll let Highflyer do that, you'll notice that he can't really do an aiming shot. I can take 2 shots off and back away. 1 and 2, and back off, and now he missed. You know, he can't get the hit off. Obviously, the Ziz is now waiting for me. But the peekaboo just doesn't work as well, and the reload time is insane. After the next peekaboo, I'm going to charge down there and see if I can get around the corner. Behemoths, please don't intervene. But I'm going to see if I can get to the corner after the next shot he takes and get him before he reloads. So if I back off and taunt him to take the shot, he's going to be a noob and fire, even though he hasn't a clear shot. I'm going to go, right, he's shot. He's clear. He's got no teammates because Behemoth doesn't exist, guys. And I'm going to go and charge down and go, right, I know the KV2 has a really slow reload time. Can I get to him before? Where the KV1S was a definite no. The KV2, however, is a not so definite no. And now I'll get around the back of him. He's on fire. And I can just keep fighting him. And if I don't actually noob out, I can kill him. Now, that is the big weakness of the KV2. If it's left on its own, it's even more vulnerable than the KV1S. It's slower and all that sort of jazz. So that's why you don't see the KV2 being used in competitive tier 6 or even in tank companies really that much. Because although that cannon is incredibly powerful, it's a bit random. Is that a good way to describe it, Highflyer?
Yeah, it's very random. It can, even this huge HE shell with let's see, how much penetration does it have? It has 86 penetration, which is insanely high for such a gun. It has 910 damage average. It can still hit a track and just leave a target tracked. Then they can just fix the track and start to carousel you, and then you're just a sitting duck.
Yeah. Exactly. So you've got to be careful. If you're playing as the KV2, you try and play peekaboo, you've got to be careful. Because it's more like a TD. It's a fortress tank, so you've got to drive in there slowly, get into position, absorb the damage, and then take the shot. You can't really poke out, take the shot, like the KV1S kind of can. You've got to either be laying, waiting, or you've got to wait for them to come to you. You can't really do the peekaboo. You can try, but there's a good chance you'll miss. And if you miss, well, you saw what happened. Even a T-34 can take you out. So if you're a med tank and you see the KV2, be aware of it, but don't be scared of it. Be scared of the cannon. Be waiting for that opportunity for him to make a mistake, be on his own, and to take a shot, reload.
Yep.
Basically, that's all it is to the KV2. Everything else is the same. The side of the turret, you can shoot. Oh, that's the only difference. The side and rear of the turret is free game. Go for it. You're not going to bounce off that. You're going to hit it. It's flat and it's big. You're going to take it down easy. No problems at all. Let's have a look at it in the garage. Yeah, I think that's the only difference, isn't it? The KV2.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Surprisingly,
Yeah.
it is.
Big panel at the back. All this is really easy to penetrate compared to the KV1S or the KV1 because it's just flat. It's not rounded at all. Obviously, from the front, it's really hard to hit the front because of the roundedness and the heavily armored mounting, the mantle. But the rest of the weaknesses are still the same. But if you can just see the gun, don't bother engaging it. You're not going to get through unless you're really lucky or you've got a really powerful gun. If you see it from the side, easy prey. If you get round the side of it, easy mode. So, yeah. Apart from that then, Godsar, skills. Let's cover the skills for the KV2. What would you recommend?
Well, if you are a reload hog and really just want to get those seconds down, then if you add Brothers in Arms, then you will get down. It's really low, but it will go down. But it's just the same as installing a ventilation vent, so shouldn't really go for that. But I've put definitely I have a snapshot on just because the smaller your reticle can be when you turn and then start to aim, the better. So snapshot is a great skill to have on that one. And then I have armor, which if the gun gets destroyed, then you can, I don't know if it's 50 or how many percentages it gets better.
And that's really important, as we said, guys, because you're deliberately trying to make them shoot at the gun mantle because it's so tough. You sometimes get the gun destroyed as a result. Therefore, it's incredibly important.
Yeah, and then clutch braking on the driver, so you can rotate faster than usual if people try to carousel around you. And then I've decided on off-road driving just because, well, sometimes you drive on dirt and you're very slow.
Yeah, no, I agree with that actually, because the KV2 is so slow. It's got to be, you got to have the mobility, even some mobility, to get out of there. If you get stuck on bad terrain, you're dead. You can't move. It's like 6 kilometers an hour. It's terribly slow. The one thing I do want to note about what you just pointed out, I don't think we said snapshot for the KV1S, which is obviously a really good skill for it for the exact same reasons. As you come out for the peekaboo, it does make your default reticle just that little bit smaller, which increases the chance that you're going to be able to hit and decreases your aiming time in general. So that's actually a really good skill to have with the KV1S for playing peekaboo. I thought I'd just throw that in there because I think we missed it.
Yeah, we did. And your little tip on the KV2 also, if you're playing it, instead of if you're playing peekaboo, then completely zoom and then press R once. Then you're gonna roll out with a lot more zoomed in than if you just roll out just. And when you could get the drop on people who think that you have to aim for 4 to 5 seconds before firing. So
yes, it's actually really important. I use it a lot with the ISs, the KV1S, the IS, the IS3, because of that exact reason. People think, oh, they're gonna have to wait 2 seconds before they can fire. I can take my shot after aiming and then roll backwards. They can't touch me. You come rolling out and they're like, oh, I can see him. Wait for him to come out because you've got to have a clear shot. And then they fire immediately. You're like, wait, what? How can they do that? And that's because you've pressed R once, because you're not moving and rocking the tank. The aiming reticle stays really shallow, really small. So although you're out in the open for longer, the reason I put inverted commas there with the KV2, as we said, the side of the turret is incredibly bouncy. If someone sees your tank poking out ever so slightly, they take the rush shot, bounce. If they wait a bit longer, they hit the gun mantle. No damage. What do? Use your repair kit to repair your gun, or if it only damages it, take the shot anyway. Doesn't really reduce your accuracy of the KV2.
No. Oh, and I also have Jack of all trades on the commander, just because if the gunner dies, then again, a lot less, lot more. What do you call it? You can aim a lot better.
Yeah.
Than if he's completely dead and just lying on the floor, and nobody goes, I won't aim. So, yep.
Yeah, more versatility. And that's just it, really. The KV2 lacks versatility. It's very specialized in what it does. And if you understand what it's there for, or what it does, then it's no longer something to be scared of. Respect it, because if you make a mistake, you are dead.
Yes.
Respect
it.
But yeah, if you learn it, like we just taught you, no problem at all. Cool. Right, as we always do with newbie nights, the floor is open. Please ask us your questions. We will answer as many as possible. Please try and keep it themed tonight, but you don't necessarily have to. We're here to answer your questions every newbie night about just general stuff about the game, and we'll try and answer them for 5 minutes, or till your questions run out. Then we'll be signing off for tonight. Don't think we got too much more planned, but we are doing replay analyzing now. So if you've got good replays or frustrating replays where something happened that you don't understand, why am I losing all the time? This keeps happening. Send them in to rivetingtv@gmail.com with a little tagline of why this replay is interesting or what you want to find out from the replay. We'll take a look and see if there's something that we can help you with for further nights. When we get enough replays on one particular theme, we'll obviously go through them all, and that's what we're going to do for a lot of the nights. One night a week, we're going to do a World of Tanks Tips live. Again, I'm not telling you the exact days because we haven't decided them yet. We're just deciding on the themes that we're going to do. So far, we're looking at 2 replay analysis a week and 1 World of Tanks Tips live, the newbie night, the procast, and the company battle once a month. That's what we're looking at the moment, isn't it, Highflyer? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, at the moment, yes. Correctly. Yes, that's correct.
Awesome. So, yeah, look forward to them shows and for the announcements that we obviously give to let you know what's going to happen. So there will be a show tomorrow night, probably replay and analyzer right now. We're not in the position to do much else. And, yeah, cool. Right, any questions? I mean, the chat is lagging. I mean, we found that the chat and Twitch has been like this for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, B_PS. Can you explain when it's better to use the HE-AP Gold of the 152mm gun on the KV-2, or on what tanks are they more effective, the premium rounds? So, example, he finds them more useful against the Super Pershing, the gold rounds.
Yeah, indeed, because if you can get close enough, or the HE rounds can be soaked on the Super Pershing's armor. So if you can get close enough to hit the top of him and have a gold shell loaded, you don't really have to have the gold shell loaded, but just in case, because the reticle is insanely huge, even if you're close to tanks. So yeah, loading HE is always the best choice. Even if you think that you've got it down, then HE is the way to go. But if you do have it loaded and you don't want to waste 20 seconds, then just aim at the top of the Super Pershing. The huge 2-barrel things. Looks like, I don't know. It's insanely easy to hit, and it does full damage every single time.
Awesome. Okay. So, Ant2398 asks, what skill should I put on my T50-2?
Skittles on the T50-2. Well,
Skittles. I love. I haven't Skittles in so long. I want some Skittles.
You can't buy them then. Oh yeah, you can. You can. Anyways, skills. Well, first up, the cheat skill, Sixth Sense, to know when you've been spotted. Insanely useful, and you just have to have it on a scout tank, because if the enemy scout is out there faster than you, and he's scouting you, then you have to know, and you can know by doing that, and then you can inform your team that someone's sitting here, don't go, and other than that, all the view range that you can get, recon, situational awareness, on the where is it? It's not there. I think it's the commander that got that, actually.
Which skill set?
Yeah, the commander, because the T50-2 doesn't have a radio operator, so the commander takes that job. So he can have recon and situational awareness on the same thingy. So
he's a jack of all trades.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, extend the view range as long as possible, and therefore also buy the coded optics, which means that you have 10% extra view range, even when moving, compared to the binaural. Yeah, when you sit still and you have to sit still for some time. You can do that if you're a passive scout, but if you're an active scout, you really have to go with the coded optics. And on that, I've picked some repair skills just because if you get tracked just by a lucky shot by one tank, then it's really good to be able to just...
It's game over if you don't move quickly.
Yeah, yeah. And then I also have 2 camouflage skills to 100%, just because sometimes I sit in a bush and it's great with some extra camo, but it also works on the move, so wee-hee.
Awesome. Right, so last question for the night, I think. That gas skin, I'm going to say that gas skin, it says the T-21, how do you use him? It's not fast enough for active scouting, in my opinion. That's the American one, isn't it?
Yep. Well, I've actually... That's the last World of Tanks tips that I've made. That was with the T-21. So
go watch it.
If you want to do that, go watch it at it's right, and it's also on the right side. Yep, over there. Right
there.
YouTube, and
go check it out.
And that's the last one I've made. But I am going to be cranking out some more, and one more, the version 2 of that one, where you actually get up against someone at your own tier and you can actually deal a lot of damage. But it's very rare.
All right, guys, so click on that link if you want to find out about the T-21. But I've been Dorjan.
I've been Half-Life 15.
We're RivetingTV, and we'll see you tomorrow.